Hey, 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 welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Note that energy is fluid. Worlds could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to go deep within my readings. So I like to look into spiritual blocks, shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes along with everything else. So you want to keep that in mind when listening to the reading. The readings are usually a little bit longer, but they are more of a healing style reading because there's many different realities that play it at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what you do. So in these type of readings, you're seeing why things are again playing out the way that they are karmically, but you're seeing how you contribute. You're also seeing why your person's doing what they are doing from a completely different perception from their wounds. And then that allows you to kind of not take things personally, because a lot of times when we're connected to a soul mate or any type of karmic mate, when they do something, they trigger us many times. And those triggers are there to awaken the wounds that separate us from feeling whole. Again, meaning that when we're in our natural and natural born energy, the energy that God gives us, we're in the energy of unconditional love. So our shadows are any place where we have detached from, where we've disassociated from, and it's essentially parts of ourselves that we reject. And so there are behaviorisms and habits that we then adapt into our lives to compensate for the imbalance that we perceive that we have. So understanding what those things are and implementing new habits and behaviors automatically shape shifts your situation. Now, again, we don't always can't shape shift our situation to get the person that we are so connected to to be balanced, to treat us the way that we deserve to be treated. However, we don't receive any negative karmic retribution due to dealing with that person. That's number one. And number two, we learn not to deal with that person. And we learn again why things are playing out and are able to say that has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my wounds, may awaken certain wounds that I have. And that's just to do that you can integrate and so that you can heal those aspects of yourself. But it's also that you can then, once you integrate, you're able to then attract exactly what it is that you want within your life. What you'll notice is with karmic themes that continue to play out within like karmic cycles of 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is, a karmic loop is just the same situation with the same type of karmic theme that plays out, that keeps you in a place of fear. What you'll see is until you fully embody the new spiritual lesson, which is to really transmute that energy, you can't attract anything better. And that's why they're healing, because what you want today is not what you're going to want tomorrow. So even if you're attracted to someone or connected to someone that's imbalanced, once you learn the spiritual lesson, a lot of times you lose that deep soul connection that you once have. It's like the karmic, like curse is broken. And I want to say karmic curse because a lot of times we can confuse a karmic partner to be a soul mate, to be a twin flame, and they're not. They're just a karmic mate. And a lot of times you can bypass the spiritual lesson if you already have learned it. And so understanding that in life you get the lesson before you get the lesson after you've taken the test. Where in school you go, you get the lesson, then you take the test. So you get to avoid that is completely even taken the test, if you have awareness of, what the spiritual lesson is that you need to learn. Now, again, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always the first word on the first card that I pull out is the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing, but also know that I am a few months actually behind on picking the word of the video because I have a lot going on in my life. So I will eventually get to picking a person for each video, but I'm feeling more towards the fall. A lot of transitions going on in my life right now. Please be patient. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. The word of the video is negativity, pessimism, negativity. I feel like first thing that I'm feeling, Scorpio, is that you're attracted to someone that's very negative, and it makes you negative because they're on such a low vibration and they don't feel good about themselves. They don't have a good confidence, so they don't do anything. They don't do right by you. And what happens is that it triggers every single one of your wounds, and then you find yourself ruminating, where like you just can't like bypass what they did. It's almost like a sense of every time you have an opportunity to fix it, you don't, you just disappoint me over and over. And I'm tired of being disappointed because you're negative. You're negative with how you feel about yourself. You're negative how you see me because you have a lot of spiritual blocks. Everything that I say triggers you, and then you always have to punish me. And you're just negative. And I feel like, again, that you're ruminating on this and it's keeping you kind of like your energy low. It's actually draining your energy because it's like almost like what they did keeps playing over and over and over in your head. So let's see what this person actually did. Okay, let's pull past. It's again, this person had a hard time letting go of the past. So I feel like they started a relationship with you when they weren't really ready. I feel like they were connected to someone that was very toxic. They were in a toxic trauma bond. So everything again that you do triggers them. Everything that this person like perceives is through a distorted perception of how they feel about themselves due to being with someone that was very toxic. And so again, that's what happens when you're in a trauma bond relationship. It's like you're stay connected to someone that's toxic, you're going to become toxic. And I feel like this person, again, just their hard time of letting go of the past, really does play out as chaos in every single relationship until you heal it. Not this person has never healed. So I feel like they bring their baggage from one relationship into another relationship to another relationship. So they finally got themselves into a trauma bond relationship. And that trauma bond relationship has somebody that was actually dominating them. And so, like I said, this person, everything that you say that gets triggered where they think that you're controlling them. They think that uh, you're uh, you're making fun of them. They think everything like that you're not doing pretty much. And so psychologically, it was affecting you. Emotionally, it was affecting you because you felt like you had to walk around on eggshells. And then what it was is that they held a totally different standard for you. They lied to you all the time. It's like this person, and understand part of the reason why they lie is they don't like who they are. So whether they are lying because they're leaving parts of their story out, or whether they're lying where they're exaggerating about certain things that happen, there's always a little bit of truth within their lies, but it's almost like you're like, I don't know what's true and what's not. And again, keeping you in a place of not really feeling safe because you don't know what you're dealing with. And it's like this person, like, um, there is a spiritual connection, I'm not gonna lie. However, them not giving you what you need emotionally, and there being such a strong emotional connection with this person, it's like you did feel kind of powerless when that's what this person wanted to do. They wanted to dominate you. And that's the thing, we can't help who we have a soul's connection with, right? We can't help who we fall in love with. Um, Problem is that this person has such a low self-esteem. We're gonna take that one. And so that's expectations. I feel like obviously because there was such strong chemistry between both of you had expectations. But the problem is that when this problem has problems, they avoid. They avoid talking. They go into ostrich mode. And so you can't even really have a conversation with this person without them getting triggered. And after long periods of avoiding you, ghosting you. So you're always feeling like this person is abandoning you on some level. And whether they are always going into isolation, I feel like this person isolates themselves. You know, I feel like they can suffer from depression. I feel like they drink a little bit too much, or they do like smoke a little bit too much, but they tend to not really feel confident in themselves. And then what happens is, it's like I said, it's very exhausting to create facades, illusions of what they want people to perceive that they are. And I feel like this person um wants to feel strong, right? Wants to feel strong. So what they do is they cut themselves off from you emotionally. And then again, they know that you have a very strong connection to them because they have one to you. It's just this person is capable of detaching. And so that when they do that, it's that you really feel powerless. Like I said, that like all your like this person's messing with you on an emotional level. And I feel like you're like a highly sensitive person. I feel like you're an empath. So it really affects you. It triggers your abandonment issues. It stirs up a lot of trauma within you. And I feel like this person knows that. I feel like this person knows that. And so, you constantly felt undervalued in the connection because they wanted to pretend to be someone that they're not. So, I mean, because again, being in a relationship with somebody that is a trauma bond, and that's someone that's abusing them continuously, making them feel like bad, making them feel bad about themselves, they've learned how to really detach and disassociate. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings for you, but without actually healing, it's like they keep getting triggered. It's like they've never left that previous relationship or any of the other relationships. So I can see how it would keep you in a place of being really emotional over time. So I want to see what this person is going to do and what they feel, and I could see. So part of this is that this person doesn't really know what they're going to do. They tend to be very unpredictable, and they're thinking about taking a chance um towards you. But like I said, I feel like they can't decide because they know that that they damaged this connection. They know, and they also know that they would have to completely change. But if they do take it, it's going to be fast. It's almost like this person is going to, I feel like they're not really planning on taking a chance. And the reason why I say this is because they, they're strategizing, they go back and forth. There's a sense of like not knowing, they can't decide. Okay, this is what I feel, can't decide so whether they should take a chance. But I do feel like this connection stirs up some emotion inside of them where they will be all of a sudden taking quick action, but not because it's planned. It's almost like this person keeps thinking about it and is ruminating on everything and is thinking about just the same way that you are. So I don't really feel like they really know. What I do feel though is that emotionally it's affecting them, where emotionally they normally don't get affected, which is really odd that I feel that, because it's almost like it's rare that they would do this. It's like almost like it's almost like I feel like they have a lot of passion for you. I also feel as if, like I said, I almost feel like it's a very spiritual connection for them. And like I said, it's going to be like quick, out of the blue, like almost like you don't see it coming. They don't see it coming, and that's why you don't see it coming. And it's because I feel like they try to avoid, and they did avoid it for a long time. Felt like for a long time there was someone keeping them from you. And again, that was the trauma bond connection. So they didn't give for a long time. They avoided really having a connection to you because they really never let go of the past. That's why everything that you were saying, it was almost like to just have a conversation with this person. It was like this person was getting triggered all the time, but not because of you, but because of that trauma bond. And even though that relationship was over, it wasn't 100% over. That's why I'm saying I feel like this person tried to stay in a place that, it was over. And I like, again, the people that say in trauma bonds for when it's over, it's because their self-esteem is so low, they don't know what else to go. They don't know what else to do. And when I mean that it's over, it's like no more, there's no more like passion within that relationship. A trauma bond, there's usually a lot of sex, a lot of passion, but there's also like a lot of pain. There's also like where you're continue to relive a childhood trauma, one that has kept you in a place of limitation. So if you were brought up in a family with an alcoholic parent and that was abusive, that didn't emotionally give you anything, now here it is, you're in a relationship as an adult with an alcoholic that emotionally doesn't give you anything, that's checked out. You're living the same exact experience. You didn't learn from the experience that you grew up in, the karmic lesson. So I almost feel like for a long time that this person was connected in that their trauma bond. So they're not evolved at all. They don't really know how to deal with you. And so that's part of the reason why, they lie. It's part of the reason why they isolate. They don't really know who are they going to go and talk to. That again, they were in a trauma bond relationship. So it's not even like they're with that person anymore. It's just there's nobody else. So they have to rely still on that person sometimes. And that's what they hide from you. The chemistry between us is off the charts. It's like obviously, like there would have to be a reason why you would even be able to be in a person's life that is trauma bonded to somebody else. There would have to be a fire energy, and that fire is passion. So where, like I said, that doesn't mean that this person just automatically can leave that connection. A trauma bond relationship is a psychological one, it's an emotional one, it's one where, you're usually, you got someone that's connected to a covert narcissist, a sociopath narcissist, someone that has, beat down this person's self-worth and self-esteem. So they're not very confident in themselves. And the problem is because they're not confident in themselves, they still kind of rely on that person. And it's because the covert narcissist sometimes is going to be really nice, and then sometimes it's just really evil. And everything is done for manipulation. Everything is to manipulate this person so that they can get what they want from that person. It's like the way that this person learned how to survive. They're in that trauma bond relationship, reliving, whether they're that, I feel like this trauma bond relationship too, I feel like at one point your person abused their power. So there's a sense that within the dynamic of their relationship, you're seeing your person, the person that's connected to you, in a place of like you feel sorry for them because you're seeing it through the perception of almost your person aside from what really happened, because I feel like your person leaves out pieces of their story. They don't tell you that, yeah, they've also been connected to this person and have gone back several times, and how much this person has done for them. See, the dynamic of a trauma bond relationship is both parties hate each other, but both parties love each other too. Both parties need each other. And it's almost like an addiction type of thing. And here it is that you come along and this person like feels the difference. They feel the purity. And there's this, again, passion that's obviously always scintillating to like the person, right? So like we wouldn't go into a connection that was just as horrible as a trauma bond relationship. I feel like this person didn't believe in love anymore, didn't really believe that can happen anymore. I felt like, well, this is love. Again, people confuse trauma bond for love. And so, because they're guilted and they're shamed, and believe it or not, people confuse guilt for love. Well, I'm doing it for you, so I must love you because you're able to guilt me. Where really they don't understand that unconditional love, there is no ownership, there is no expectation. And so that's the thing where this person for a long time was emotionally unavailable. They don't, again, not emotionally intelligent. And that's because they learned how to survive by checking out of that, trauma bond connection, where I feel like they were still connected on an emotional level. However, sexually, they were getting stuff from other people for a very long time. And that trauma bond turned bitter. So there was no more passion. Like I said, the relationship was completely over. It was just one-sided, almost like where there was no, like your person doesn't want to stay there. They were dominated by that person. So whether, they had to, buy this person out of the home that they were living in, or they had, it was almost like the trauma bond person was like, well, now you're gonna pay me, you're gonna owe me, you're gonna do me, you're gonna do, and I'm gonna make your life a living fucking hell. Because those relationships after the passion's gone, it's just pure hate. And it's pure hate because there was a lot of disrespect. And there was a lot of disrespect because, it was a trauma bond relationship. And I feel like for you, your person couldn't be there for you because, again, they never really ended that. I feel like they might have told you that they ended it, but because it was over and they walked out, but they never sat and really had the conversation with that karmic to say, hey, that it's over. I'm gonna go separate ways. If we have children, you're gonna take the children on this day, this day, this day. You're gonna do, nothing was ever said. So, and this person knows goddamn well that they've been in a trauma bond connection for a long time, and that them not saying anything and leaving it open ended like that it leaves it so that trauma bond person is going to come right back into their life, and here you're going to be. So what do you think that's going to create? It's going to create a lot of drama. It's going to create a lot of chaos because it's like, I can't really get back at you, but I can get back at you by, I'm dating someone else. I don't care. So again, that's a volatile relationship to begin with. And here you are, an innocent bystander that this person like continues to kind of like put your life in jeopardy because you don't know this person is crazy. This person is already emotional because they're dealing with someone that's toxic for a long time that they're trying to control, that doesn't want to be controlled. And here it is, it's like they're not really ending it with them, and they're starting another connection. They were starting another connection. And it's mainly because it's like I said, they want to start another connection, but they've been with that person for so long that there is still an emotional connection, but there's also that this person has such a low self-esteem. So they're always going to take the easy way out. And they're emotionally not intelligent. So they're of course not gonna really have a conversation. They're gonna avoid having the conversation. They're gonna literally leave pieces out of every story that they tell you. And you're always gonna feel like the last man figuring it out almost with mud on your face is what I'm feeling like. I wish you were here with me. So again, this person, like again, oh, yeah, of course, like I feel like they do wish that you were there with them because for selfish reasons. It's like I'm attracted to you. I know that we have good chemistry. I have feelings for you. However, I just don't want to deal with that situation. But so it's almost like they still want what they want. I wish I could fix things between us. So it's getting me know that what they did is not really uh they're not going to be able to heal this situation with one please forgive me, because they lied, and they didn't just lie, but they brought you into a situation that could potentially hurt your reputation, that just how are you going to trust them again? So they know that the damage that they did is um done. I'll come back for you. I feel like for some, this person, like I do think in their mind, because they're thinking that they wish that they could fix things, that there's a part of them that wants to even come back just to even be a friend, just to like kind of fix things, because like I said, I feel like they definitely see the difference between you and the trauma bond connection. It's like there's a pureness, there's an innocence with you. There's a again, where and there's that passion. And so with that trauma bond, there's no more passion. So I feel like that is also very versatile, because the person that is connected to your person, I feel like still has feelings. So it's making them extremely jealous that your person would have feelings for somebody else, and your person knows that. And that's why I'm saying it's not that they don't have feelings, but do you see how because they're on a lower vibration and they're still kind of connected to that person, how like they don't care, they don't care what it looks like. They want it to look like almost like you didn't affect me. I've moved on with my life. And look who I have. I have someone that's really good looking, really successful, really, again, like you're a good catch. So it's almost like, um, it's not like I said that they're doing it solely for that, but I feel like they know what they're doing. And that's because, again, they're not healed. So I feel like you're going to need to talk to them even when they do come back. Because, um, like I said, they need to have that conversation with that karmic. They've already kind of tricked you before into believing that they were fully single or on their way, and having that conversation. Understand not until that person really like sits down and has the conversation, like, and that conversation might be, okay, what days are you going to take the kids? Or, um, to finish this up, let's do X, Y, Z. Make it clear that they're moving on with their life and that they're going to be dating. And that it's, again, that it doesn't need to say anything else, but needs to tell this person, because I feel like in them not saying anything, like, leaves it open, leaves that person hanging on. And then what winds up happening is that's what creates like the trauma. The trauma is, it's like the person is like holding on and then waiting, and the whole time, it's not only that the person's not going to come back, but they're making a mockery out of them. And it's almost seems like that this person that wants to come back for you, like, only really considers themselves. And that's the problem, because they haven't healed. So they do have feelings, but the way that they navigate is horrible. It's like their intention is good, their execution is horrific. Their intention with you, I should say, is good. Their intention is, I want to give another chance. I wish that you were here with me. I wish I could fix things. I know I didn't do right by you. However, the way that they want to go about it is, again, until they like stop avoiding. They got like that ostrich syndrome, where they stick their head in the sand and they pretend that it's not happening. And then the thing is, that karmic is right there. And the karmic is like, oh no, not today. And the karmic knows what they do. And they also know that at this point, that no matter what they do to them, that your person doesn't really care. So they would go after someone that they're connected to. They would go after their job. They would go after something that means something to them as punishment. And that's what your person pretends that they don't know. It's like, or they just don't think about it. And that's what makes them selfish. And that's what tells you that they're not healed, and that they would never have, not that they wouldn't have your best interest at hand. They're not aware enough. They're not healed enough. And so we say, why did you attract this person into your life? Isolation. Notice this person deals with things in the same way. And we tend to isolate when we don't feel, when we need to heal as children. These are inner child wounds. We ask ourselves again, why you would attract this person into your life. You're a mirror of whom, what comes into your life. The shadows tell us, but our shadows many times are made up of our inner child wounds. And isolation means that there was no one there for you. There wasn't support. This person, again, didn't give you support. They're giving a karmic mate support. The person that they claim that they don't care about. The person that they claim that it's over with. The person that they've, again, said they've moved on from. That's who they're giving support to. They're not giving support to you. So I feel like you didn't have support growing up. And so whenever you had to go through something, you went through it alone. It's very common, like you said, for children that grow up feeling abandoned, to isolate when they need to heal themselves. Almost like an animal. Like again, and because in isolation, we really intuit, we go inside of ourselves. In the quiet, we find the answers. Organized chaos, growing up in, again, organized chaos. So you might have grown up in an alcoholic family, might have grown up in, there could just chaos due to people having addictions, people going to jail, divorce, people not being around. Again, things got done, but it was chaos, which didn't make you feel safe, which again would make you again have to go into isolation when you needed to figure things out, when you needed to heal. And dance, I feel like that's a gift. You found how to go with the flow. You always knew how to go with the flow because you're very intuitive. So again, I feel like that's what this was too. Like intuitively, you're like, you're not giving to me, you're giving to somebody else. So, like you're saying that it's over, but it's not over. And I can tell because I'm asking you questions, and every time I ask you a question, you're getting triggered as if I'm saying something to you where I'm not saying anything to you. No, this person was hearing everything through the distorted uh lens of the wound, not the truth of what was actually happening, and they didn't realize it. However, um, that allowed you to be like, no, I'm not going to, it doesn't feel right. So again, I feel like you're someone that's very empathic, you're someone that's very intuitive, and you were like, no, if it doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna go with it. And I feel like it was like your way of like protection, right? The way, so again, growing up in an environment where that you had to, again, pretty much figure things out on your own. You found your own rhythm. And that really is your protection because you have a very strong connection to spirit. So I feel like, yes, you had an emotional connection to this person, and it sucks that this person isn't like who they claim to be. However, you're walking away unbruised because this person, if anything, this person's going to come back hurt. And I say this only because you walked away unbruised, because if you would have been with them leaving out half their story, that they were still connected to somebody else, that would have created a spectacle. That would have, I think, been traumatizing to you because this person is not strong enough to really, if they're like doing everything underhandedly behind that karmic's back, is because they're not secure in themselves. They're not 100% ready to leave that situation. Not 100%. They may say it's done, but it's not done. It's not done until the conversation. So again, and this person has not been there for you. And what you have seen and what you have witnessed this whole time is that that person is where the loyalty goes to. The loyalty is not going to you. The loyalty is going to the karmic. And that's all that karmic mate cares about. They don't care about anything else. Yeah, you want to be with someone, you want to be with them for a day, you want to have an affair, who cares? I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, you know? And in that, you don't feel safe. You don't feel safe. So, like I said, I feel like that was something that you learned in childhood. Yep. And when you were very young, it kind of took your innocence away from you. And in this, it kind of robbed the innocence within this relationship, because when you meet someone and there is an intense connection, there is a really strong emotional connection, spiritual connection, chemistry is strong. Well, and then they show you like a part of them that is, doesn't have your best interest at hand, and someone that is not really ethical, and someone that's not strong, because this person's not strong. They're connected to someone that is strong. And Lord, like I want to say, is very controlling. I don't want to say strong. They're not strong as a human being, but they're strong in the fact that they're controlling that this person. And you're seeing that. And then you're seeing like that they didn't treat you right. It robbed you of the innocence of this connection. And when there's that much passion it's almost like fantasy. It's almost like we can get stirred up in that, right? Again, we can really fall hard for that in the beginning when we're so innocent, seeing things through, like, again, almost like that this person's perfect. Well, I feel like it was robbed. It's, again, you can't unsee what you saw. And that's what this person doesn't realize. It's like, and they also don't realize that you're not going to feel safe now. Because again, this is what it triggered. It triggered these wounds within inside of you. So, I mean, some of you guys may go back with this person. Well, pull for it in this story to see who's going to do what, but understand this, that understand that in this story, it's more or less that this person is really not on your vibration, that they're not healed. And we've said it all through this story. So you have free will. And in this story, we'll choose, because there are going to be some people that actually want to be in a relationship with someone like this, that's not strong, that's not 100% done. And I think just because a person may end things with a trauma bond relationship, they really need to be living separate for a certain amount of time before you get involved with someone like that. Because those relationships have a bad way of getting back together, on, off for years. For years. So, like I said, and you don't want to be on the outs, because then now you're being pulled into it, and then two people are making a mockery out of your life, and that's what happens in those type of connections, and we're an innocent bystander. And so we have to say how you feel about this person. Again, no, I feel like your dark side keeps you, like, it keeps you from enjoying the love that you could have with this person. And that's really what it is. It's like, again, the dark side keeps I think keeps you from really enjoying the love. Like, you just see it, like it said. And that's what I intuitively felt too. It's like, in this story, and I thank God, because it's like there's always going to be people that go back to a person like this that feel sorry for them, because they're going to listen to how, that person that they're connected to, their trauma bond, is so mean and horrible, and you're watching them be mean and horrible, but you're not understanding the story behind it, where it's, again, they've contributed to this, trauma bond, where they were not respectful, where they, were running around, where they even met you at one point. So that's why I'm saying, where if even if they didn't cheat emotionally, they checked out. They weren't there for this karmic on an emotional scale. So there's a lot of anger and bitterness there. So, and it's like I said, your person doesn't really care. They're like, oh, well, whatever. It's like, I'm not, but like I said, they don't, but care, but they're not strong either. So it's like, you're just very selfish. So I'm very glad that you see that, again, the dark side, and see why you attracted this person, again, that really you don't need to be in, like, organized chaos. If it's not balanced, it's not. But you felt that because, again, intuitively, so it's all about giving yourself protection, which you did. However, I feel like it's about to integrate this spiritual lesson. It's to, like, be like a child, go out and explore, meet new people, create, like, support. So you don't have to isolate. It's not about, you're not alone. You don't have to uh isolate. But in this story, I feel like you felt as if you needed to isolate, to, again, intuitively, like, really, like, observe and allow yourself to see everything that this person was showing you, because there was very strong chemistry. And like I said, and I do feel like that was a gift. But I would also say that not just within our wounds do we find, our blocks, but we found our gifts. But also, I would say, in order to really integrate this spiritual lesson, is to give yourself the love that this person didn't give. And that's why I said, go out and play, have fun, connect with different people on an emotional level, because you passed this test. And I'm glad, because now when this person comes back, because they are going to come back like out of it's spontaneously is the word I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Um, they're not planning on it, and I'm glad, because like you're going to be like, no. And there's a part of them that kind of psychs them up to when they come back, and they kind of feel like they need to be thrown off their high horse. That's just my opinion, but again, they weren't too nice. And so I feel like they need a little bit of their karma back onto them. And so we asked Spirit, because Spirit would not say that, because karma, the universe says that's up to me and you shouldn't be so concerned. But again, there is a dust part of ourselves, so let's face it. Well, what does the universe say that we should do or embody? What energy? Shining light, my desire to improve myself, transform fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells in me. So Spirit just says, keep on like feeding yourself. Continue to, improve yourself, because that's really what transforms fear into strength. And that's why I said, go out, have fun, connect with people. And yes, put everything in the universe's hands. So then this way you know that you'll be supported, and you'll also know that everyone that's deserving of the karma will get the karma, because the universe just wants everyone to evolve. So whether it's because you did good things or bad things, it's going to bring you what you need to help you evolve further. So that's what Spirit says. Just kind of like um, love and accept yourself, and discover like more of who you are. This way you don't keep attracting people into your life that don't show you your worth, when you really know who you are and you're investing in yourself and you're having a love affair with yourself. Well, low vibe people might come into your life, but you'll definitely recognize them, and you won't hold a place for them. And you always have really good discernment, and the universe always brings you what is more in alignment for you, and its plan is better than yours. You'll always have a much better manifestation when you put it in the universe's hands. And that's really what Spirit is saying. It's like, keep doing you, because you're on the right track, and the universe will take care of you. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. You let me know whether you resonated with this. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.